Hey everybody, welcome to the show. And today I get to hang out with the homie, Aaron Havens, who is the owner and founder of multiple companies. The first of which is Growth Instigators, which is his coaching organization, and Sky Commercial Cleaning, which is a commercial cleaning organization that he owns. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, man. Honored to be here. Thank you for spending the time to chat today. Looking forward to our conversation.
Dude, I love this, man. We got to meet and share our hearts together watching track, watching you got to watch his nephew, I got to watch my daughter,
Yeah.
and introduced by his brother, a mutual friend, and a friend of mine. Shout out to Nathan Havens. What's up, brother?
What's up, mate?
But we're over there like having deep conversations about the cosmos
Yeah.
over there in the hot sun, and I was like, oh, this is my brother. I got to get him on my show, man. So
Yeah, that was great. I enjoyed meeting you that day, and we killed at least an hour of time in the sun, and so I'm appreciative for that.
yes, sir. Yeah, I got sunburned so bad, bro. Oh, it wrecked me. It wrecked my whole scalp, bro. Like, it was so bad. And it's because of you, man, out there in the sun having passionate conversation. Well, the sun just destroyed me. Um, so my first question, as we just get right to the deep part, the deep parts of life, man, what are you passionate about?
Man, it took a lot of years to get to be able to answer this question, and I'll just say it this way: instigating growth. 2 words. That's it. I want to instigate growth. I am passionate about that, whether it's business, personal life, or professional life. I want to instigate growth. I am passionate about instigating growth. Doesn't that
Yes.
sound gross?
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't at all, dude. It sounds beautiful, man. It sounds like clarity, dude.
Clarity. Yeah.
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 So have you always been like that?
I think I have. I mean, if you're going to do a spiritual test or you're going to do like a strength test or anything like that, you look back and I had a moment when I actually had to write down what I'm passionate about. And the reason I got to that is because I had to look in the past, like what have I been good at? What naturally comes for me? Encouragement is one of those things. But what am I currently doing and what will I be doing 10, 20 years from now? There's a whole process with the story behind it that's a really cool story. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think I always have been. But getting the clarity to give me the permission to continue to do it now and in the future, that's exciting for me.
Please tell me the really cool story. Like let's go. You said for last that is the point. So I want to hear the really cool story. Don't tell me there's a cool story and then don't tell me.
Well, I mean, it starts in the bathroom. Is that okay? I mean,
That's
can we
fine,
start in the
dude.
bathroom?
I
I
think
mean,
we can handle it.
okay, here we are. Here's the cool story. I am running and gunning in one of the businesses that's just exploding. It's a franchise business. We are launching all over the place. And I'm also trying to figure out, what I'm called to do, what I'm gifted to do, what I want to do. And I'm the franchise director of that organization. So in and out of planes all the time. And
Yeah.
I'm in DIA Airport, Denver International Airport, and I got to take a dump. And so I go into the stall to do my business. I told you it's not a clean story. And I'm sitting there doing my thing, and I look up on the toilet paper roll, and there's a business card. And for some reason, I know it's gross. Don't judge me, but I grabbed the business card, and on the front of the business card, it just had this guy's name, and underneath it just said, private investigator, 2 words. And then you flip it over, and on the back was a phone number. And I thought, huh, what clarity.
Yes.
If I were to write a card and I'd be
Yes.
like, Aaron Havens, what are 2 words? Like, this guy knows private investigator, call me,
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
I went on a journey, Johnny, honestly, that lasted 3 months, 4 months maybe, where I was asking everyone. I immediately went and got on the plane and I was flying to I don't know where I was flying, but I was writing down words. I was like, what's Aaron? Who's Aaron? I'm not saying existential crisis moment, but I'm
Yeah.
saying I felt it. And
Yeah.
I felt it. And I was like, I got to ask people. So I started asking everyone that knew me, my best friend, my mom, my dad, people all around me, like, what are 2 words that describe Aaron Havens? And I went through all sorts of words, and I honestly had hundreds of them. And through time, whittled it down to what have I been? What am I doing? Where am I going? And these 2 words just came out. I am about growth, and I am about instigating. And
Yeah,
so
bro.
that's where, like, what am I passionate about? Not taking dumps in the DIA, but I'm passionate about clarity on the business card underneath your name. Aaron Havens, what is he? Growth instigator till I die. There you go.
Dude, that story actually touches me in my heart, man. It because that's so that's so real, and it is so fitting to the show and to my mission in life, right? Like a big part of my mission in life is to help people gain self clarity, like self understanding. And so like even hearing your story, like you're sitting there, and I knew exactly where you're going. You picked up that card, and just 2 words, private investigator, and thinking to yourself, I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I could achieve that level of clarity where there's no fluff, there's no excess adjectives. It's just like, that's who I am and that's what I do.
You already have. You're
Yeah.
already doing
Yeah,
it. You're
yeah.
already focused. Yeah, you
Yes.
might not
Yeah.
be on a card with maybe 2 words, but you already have clarity and focus. So
For sure,
good
dude.
job. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. But it just, I admire that. I admire, and it's uncommon. It's uncommon to find people who have who have done the work. Because also that's the other part I want to notate to people. Like, schools aren't doing this for us, right?
Right.
Like you learn
Right.
about math, you learn about English, you learn about science, but you don't learn about yourself really. They're not really giving you the tools, and that might be the most important curriculum, because you got to be with yourself, you got to live in this frame, right, for the rest of your life, and it takes decades sometimes to understand how you even work. How old were you when you started that process?
So I would say I'm probably 40s, like late 30s,
Yeah,
40s, like, and that's also what it takes. I don't think you can just one day be at 15. If you could do that at 15, you have a wonderful gift. That's what I'm gonna do the rest of my life. But it took a little bit of tread, a little bit of
yep,
road behind me. Like, what have I
yep,
done? Where am I at? Where do I want to like leave my legacy and heritage and hit and all that? Like, yeah. So a little later in life.
yep. I think that's true. I think for the younger people that are watching this, there is a lot you
Yeah.
can know early. Like, there
Yeah.
is a lot. Like, you can definitely get a leg up for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
But I will say that, like, when I've had young people come and ask me for advice, like, what should I do? Or I had a young man who was just out of college saying, okay, well, what should I do? And I was like, it doesn't matter as much what you do as that you go do stuff. You have to
Yeah.
go gain experience. That's the
Yeah.
job right now,
Yeah.
right?
And if you can put words to it later, it was just the clarity of what you'd been doing since you were 4 years old anyways. Like,
Yeah.
just go do it. Go make mistakes, run after it. And later on you might actually be able to name it, but until you can name it, go do it. I agree with
Yeah,
you.
yeah, man. Yeah. That disposition towards action, which you took my superpower quest assessment,
I did.
and your core drive is progress, which is motion. You're a mover. You want to move.
Yeah.
And then you put your primary hero type as achiever. And that's get stuff done. That's the gift of tenacity, pushing
Yeah.
things across the finish line. And then secondary hero type organizer, which is
Man.
systems, planning, structure around things. That's a powerful combo, man. Achiever,
It,
organizer.
it was insightful to take that, and I appreciate that tool. And I mean, I've been thinking about that since I took it. Man, I wonder what it would have looked like 10 years ago. And, knowing now that I took this thing, what it looks like, it's pretty encouraging, but also I think some red flags for me too when I'm
Yep.
taking that, going, oh,
Yep.
okay, yeah, maybe I should sit on your counseling couch and you can teach me all about Aaron Havens.
Yeah, bro. That's all this. Some people get on these interviews are like, "Huh, that felt like therapy." When it's over, yeah, because I just love to do this so much, man, and just exploring the gifts in people, man. I just never get tired of seeing just the beautiful ways that people are made and what they're made to do. And I can tell when I met you, you're a motion guy, right? So tell us a little bit about the instigator part. So growth, instigator, two terms that really sum you up in terms of your gifting. Tell us
Yeah.
about the instigator part. What does that mean?
Man, I think if it's worth it, it's worth suffering a little bit. So I did sports. I was a
Yeah.
wrestler particularly, and I wasn't quite the most natural wrestler in the world, but man, I would go in and I would outwork, like I would go for it, you know, in the test even that I took with you.
Yeah.
It's just been part of my DNA. I show up before anyone. I leave after everyone. I work really, really hard. And I set a high standard for myself first and foremost.
Yeah.
And I set high standards for our teams,
Yeah.
our families, my friends. Like it's just less than that, I feel like I'm not doing justice to what God's called me to do and how I can encourage you. If I'm an encourager at the heart, I'm not doing a good job if I'm not willing to instigate. And instigation is not soft and does not feel good. And unfortunately, I really like instigating. I like saying the hard things that people don't like to do. I like to run towards the fire.
Yes, I see what you're talking about. So you're willing to say the hard things. You're willing to have the hard conversations.
Yep.
Not because you necessarily enjoy the suffering, but because you know that motion, like real progress, comes from those conversations, I'm assuming. Or maybe you do like the pain. I don't know.
No, I don't like the pain part of it. The only part of the pain part that I like is what it's going to build in me and what it's going to build into you. We're going to be better humans because we were willing to embrace a little bit of hard conversations.
Yeah. So you're not going to let stuff alone. You're not going to let stuff be mediocre.
No.
So does that ever bite you? Does that ever come to bite you?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. But you have to have a high level of emotional intelligence to be thinking about people where I can't naturally say some of the things I want to say right here, right now. Like I want to build people up at the same time. Like it's growth instigating. It's not just instigating. It's not just tearing them down.
There we go.
It's growth mindset. Like I want this person to grow. How much can I instigate them? How much can I encourage them? How much can I correct them? And I think that takes a lot of wisdom to do that.
Yeah, it does, man. Because I know, like, people with your gift could easily roll over other people, right? Like, I could picture that you did have to develop emotional IQ, humility. Are there any particular moments when that happened for you, when you were forced to learn the balance between motion? Let's move, let's instigate, let's make it happen, but then let's try not to leave a trail of bodies behind us either.
Yes, I can tell you the origin of when I recognized it in me, because at this point I was growing. Everything I was touching was growing. Numbers were going up and to the right. Like it was wonderful. And I was working a lot. But I was sick. I had the flu, a bad flu. My family wasn't in the house. And I was down for a couple days. And I finally had enough energy to kind of wake up and make a sandwich. I make a sandwich. It took all my energy to do this thing.
Yeah.
And I go to get a glass of water, and my dog jumps up on the table and starts eating my sandwich. And I'm telling you, there was a rage that came in me. It's unhuman. Yeah. I grabbed my dog and threw him out the back door. I was like, ugh. And I think our dogs teach us wonderful things. And that was the first time it surfaced in me. Like I've got this, something in me that needs to be in check.
Yeah.
And so then my two girls that, are wonderful. Just being a dad, you also are like, okay, what should I say? What can I say?
Yeah.
That dog taught me something that thankfully I didn't have to learn on my girls.
Yes.
And I did at the same time, but not to that level. Like I threw the dog and thought, what did I do?
Yeah.
Who have I become? Like, what's going on? And it wasn't crazy, but it was enough to be like warning. And so then at that point, I was like, okay, in my business, in my relationships, the way I father, whatever it may be, I need to come into it with less emotion myself, less emotion, more centered myself. So I'm just not responding emotionally. I'm responding just with calm, like, okay, it's good. Here we are. Huge lesson.
Dude, I understand that so well, man. Like when you're like, I've been there in the aftermath of you did or you said something that's just so uncharacteristic of you. Yeah. And you're like, how did that happen? Right? Like, or you react in a way that's disproportionate to the stimulus. Yeah. Right? And it's always because there's something in you. right? There's something in you that maybe hasn't been named, maybe hasn't been discovered, hasn't been seen. In the superpower quest language, I call that your supervillain. Like,
Okay.
like your
Yeah.
supervillain is like that part of you that destroys,
Yeah.
right? And if you don't recognize it and diffuse it,
Yes.
you're gonna leave a trail of bodies, you know. And how do we do that? So man, it's amazing to see just the parallels, because I think what you describe is common experience. You know,
Yeah.
we don't always understand ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the trail of bodies you're leaving starts with yours. You're not living your best life. Like,
Yeah.
you're not fully alive. You're not centered. And sure, there may be a trail of bodies you run over, in your day in and day out. But unfortunately, yours is the first one you're sacrificing to. And
Very true.
that's not the way to live, my friend. That's not the way to live, Aaron.
Nope, me neither. Right? None of us want to be defined by our weaknesses and our faults.
Right.
Where those things get priority to just run rampant, right? And that can happen. We can make that choice and allow that to happen, but it is a choice.
Yeah, it is.
Even though it doesn't feel like it, because you haven't named that thing yet. And that's why it's important to name it. See, man, this is the stuff, dude.
Okay.
Y'all can have all those gold nuggets and eat them. All right. So let's talk a little bit about growth instigators, which I love that. So like your gift, you put a name on your gift, and that is the name of your company. That's so stinking cool, man. Growth instigators, so that people can, yeah, so people can know exactly what they're getting, right? Like, this isn't going to be fuzzy and warm. You're going to get blessed, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think people probably think you're just an easy guy that's going to let them do whatever they want.
It is definitely a filter right off the bat.
Yeah.
Someone's reaching out, they want me to coach them or their organization, whatever. I'm like, that's wonderful. Let's first off ask that question.
Yeah.
Are you okay with instigation?
Yeah.
And it could hurt. If you're not okay with that, I'm not the one for you. But it is a good filter right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you were a pastor, because you were a pastor for many years, right?
Yeah, about 25 years. Yeah.
How did this all manifest when you were a pastor? This gift that you're describing now.
I can't think of biblical words for it, but I think it's honestly like calling people to greatness.
Yeah.
And, I spoke from the stage, I don't know, thousands of times, who knows, and wrote tons of messages and conferences and all that stuff. But I think that's what it was, honestly. It's like you're calling people to greatness.
Yeah.
And so whether you want to call that instigation, I was, in the latter years of pastoring, I was going expository. And so you go verse by verse when you're teaching. And I loved that because as I'm coming up and I'm saying hard things that are in Scripture, I can look at the church and be like, I didn't make this up today because I just had a bad orange juice or something. It's literally in line with where we're going.
Yeah. And
you have to learn how to take truth and to encourage people in truth for growth in a very loving way. So yeah, I've got a lot of experience in like one-on-one coaching or talking from a stage on how we can integrate a crowd of people or an individual, how we can encourage it, how we can teach. Like, it just plays hand in hand.
Totally does, man. I've been thinking about this, and this is a recent revelation for me. But I was a pastor for 10 years as well, and learned so much. But so much of that was just being in the trenches with people, being with people at some of the hardest moments of their lives, or some of the biggest decisions of their lives, and learning to have a voice in those moments to try to help people succeed. And for the last 3 years, I have not been a pastor in the vocational sense, right? And I've been, I'm the leader of a business, and I do podcasts and all that kind of stuff. And it hit me recently, like, pastoring and coaching, man. Coaching is just another word for pastoring. And,
it is.
I've been a coach. I was a coach all that time, and I'm a coach now. I was a pastor. I'm a pastor now.
Yeah.
It's the very, very, very similar, if not the same, function in so many ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Henry Blackaby. He says it this way: spiritual leadership is knowing what God has for someone before they even know it.
Yeah, dude.
Like
Yes.
you just have insight, whether,
Yes.
so if you're leading a business, I mean, you're taking tests to find out what people's superhero strength is or their villain. Like you
Yep.
understand them, you know their personalities, you know how to lead a team because you have deep insight into the people that are there. And as
Yep.
pastoring, you do the very, very same thing. Like, yeah,
Yep.
we're studying
Yep.
our people, we're studying ourselves.
Yes.
We're going to instigate, encourage, we're going to do whatever we are, but it's not going to come just from the heart. It's going to come from the head as well.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And that language you use, the call to greatness, I love that language, right? Like you're calling people to greatness. And in some ways you're saying, you know, I think in the right sense of the word, hey, I'm not telling you great in the sense of I want to make you famous and you need to be rich and you need to have, you know what I mean, in the way that the world defines it. But you are made in the image of God, who
Yeah.
is great,
Yeah.
which means you have greatness inside of you. And I want to give that greatness a chance to be manifest in the world because of all the good it could possibly do.
Yeah.
And can't do if it's all locked in there and just shut up tight and nobody can access it because you think all these lies about yourself.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. We're about to have church today.
Every day, all day, we're having church. Yeah,
That's right.
we are. Yeah, let's go.
Tell them what you told me about church. About church. You said you go to work in this church. What'd you say? How did you say that?
Yeah, I mean, I just left 6 hours of working with my team at the church, washing windows for 3 different, houses or whatever. Like, yeah, we are. Like, the church is in the marketplace. It's everywhere. It's not just on a Sunday morning. It's everywhere, and we're all called to be pastors, of window washing or pastors of leading multi-million-dollar organization or whatever it may be. Like, yeah, that's the church, man.
Yeah, man. Yep. All right. You go ahead and preach that, man. Now tell us a little bit about who you love to serve and why you love to serve them.
I think different times it's been different. It's been different. Really, anyone in front of me. That's it. Like anyone in front of me that just I'm paying attention. Like, okay, where should I apply my calories? Man, I got limited calories. I've been way too spread thin in my life. I've learned what to say a hard no, because that's a hard yes too. I've learned filters, and
Yeah.
so I've narrowing down to like the people that are right in front of me, and they're people that are business leaders right now.
Yep.
That with growth instigators.
Yep.
I can speak to thousands. And I've done team leadership and I've done all that for organizations. And I've got plenty of history there. The thing that I love to do though is I like to sit down. I have a group called the Prez Club. Okay,
Yep.
humble little group. We're the presidents, right? The Prez Club, and it's been a group of guys that we've been together for about 8-9 years. And I formed that group because professionally what I was doing. I was scaling a franchise company to what ended up being 54 locations in 3 different countries, and I was out of my league.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing, and so I was just grabbing for dudes around me that had better wisdom and experience and whatever that may be. And that group has been around for 8 years because I needed it.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm kind of leading it, honestly, with the guys that are in the room because that's what I love to do. I want to get the influencers that are leading organizations to get them together, to instigate them both personally and professionally.
Yeah,
and
bro.
I want to have a small group of people where we get to do this. That's what I'm doing with the Prez Club.
Yeah.
But then I also have another group, and it's just a business incubator group, and that's through Growth Instigators. That's where like Sky Commercial Cleaning is in the service industry, and so I want to help those people too. And so we've got another group called the Business Instigator Group or Incubator Group, and that's where I have 8 different service industry leaders, owners in the room, and we're doing the same thing. Come with a problem. How can we solve it, whether it's personally or professionally? And it's great what's happening there. So
Yeah.
I want to talk to leaders that are hungry, that are ready to go, that want something, that are called to greatness themselves.
Tell us a little bit about what it looks like in the room. If I was a fly on the wall watching either the Prez, let's stick with Prez Club, right? I'm watching the Prez Club. What do I see happening in that room of leaders?
Well, you see people hiding behind a little glass of bourbon as they're sipping on it, thinking about life. They're like, that's interesting. But you see a lot of history there, and you see continuity of like a commitment to meet together. So Prez Club is just once a month. We literally have people that are moving meetings and moving flights, flying and landing in DIA and hauling butt to get up to Greeley to
Yeah.
make the meeting. Like they're committed to that thing. So we
Yeah.
have commitment, continuity of time together. We
Yes.
know each other. We're asking the same questions, and we're not playing small.
Mm-hmm.
So the questions, like it starts with like, hey, last month you asked us to check in on this particular thing. Let's check in on this particular thing. And now I'm not the only one having the conversation. It's all the other guys that are interested saying, hey, where are you at with that decision? I've been thinking about that. I sent you a podcast on that. Like I'm in the trenches with you on this thing. And so it's a table where we're speaking the same language, a grid that I built around, that grid. But we're fired up in that room.
Yeah,
Good.
man. Yeah, swinging for the fences. And you've filtered out the people who really aren't. There are a lot of people that say they want to change and that they want to grow, but they're actually not ready to pay the cost of change, because change is hard. Growth is actually quite difficult, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a cost to it, and part of the cost is transparency, vulnerability, accountability, right?
Yep.
And so you've got an 8-9 year group of men that have committed.
Yeah.
To
and
that.
For both of those, it's invitation only. It's like we're gonna have to filter you to get into this thing, and it's gonna cost you monetarily money. It's gonna cost you time. I mean, you have capital, limited capital all over the place, whether it's time or coins or whatever it may be. So here we are.
Yeah, man. I like some of the ways that you frame the world. Like you talk about having limited calories. Where are you going to put your calories? You said something really interesting a little while ago. You said a hard no is also a hard yes. Now, I'd love for you to unpack that a little bit, because I'm interested in understanding that, and I think viewers might be interested.
I think if you can run things through a filters, maybe let's soften up that phrase a little bit, and just say, if you can learn what to say yes to, it's permission to say no.
Yeah.
It's it. Like if you're going to say yes to everything, I mean, you're saying no to so many things. So if you can run a hard filter that's like, you know what? In fact, like Sky Commercial Cleaning.
Yep.
Live example. We experimented with a division of gutter cleaning.
Yeah.
Just because there's potential to make a lot of money with that. Did it for a couple years. And finally got to a point where I'm like, I'm going to say no to that. I gave away a lot of money. I gave away clients. I have equipment still that I can sell. I've spent a lot of money here. But the moment that I said it's going to be a no here, I was able to open up to divisions that I currently had and spend so much more time and build them. And so I think it's just the same idea. Put the verbiage however you want to it. But if that can be a hard no, I've heard one person say, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're looking for. If you can't look at it and be like, yes, then it's a hard no.
Yeah. That reference, I think that might be Greg McKeown, Essentialism.
Okay. It is actually.
Yeah. I don't know if he quoted that from somebody else, but I've heard him. I read that statement in that book, and that really just imprinted on me. Yeah. It's either a hell yes or a no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. Yeah. And that's a different way. I have to admit to you, I struggle with that, bro. That might be one of the hardest frontiers for me is digging in harder on that. That idea. It also reminds me of the book Necessary Endings. I think that's Henry Cloud. Another book about just stuff. Sometimes you got to prune stuff. For a tree to be healthy, you got to prune the not just the dead branches. You got to prune some good branches that aren't as good as other branches.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Come on, dude.
Do I like cleaning gutters? No. I mean, let's give ourselves permission to say no, because the minute you can do that, you can be more centered and you can start saying yes to the things that make you come alive too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. And I like the saying, the hell part of that too.
Yeah.
That's visceral. That's
Yeah.
not just like I'm gonna make up an idea here. Like no, it's visceral. It's like
Yeah.
hell no,
Yeah.
and hell yes. This is worth my limited calories in my only life. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes, man. No, that's some good stuff. Now, how old are you?
52.
52. All right, I'm 50. So me and you are neck and neck, neck and neck.
Yes, sir.
I'm catching up with you. Um, so can you tell us a piece of wisdom that you've learned that's important to you from your life and that you live by?
Yeah, my very wise uh, grandfather died at 93, and he was a pastor his whole life. He was a great, great guy. I got to spend a lot of time with them at the end of his life, go over and meet with him, and it was great. And he always used to say this to me because I think he saw maybe my strengths, but he saw my villains as well.
Yeah.
And he's like, Aaron, do not assume responsibility that is not yours.
Yeah.
And it's taken me a long time. I think about that all the time. Do not assume responsibility that is not yours. And I think
Yeah.
that is an incredible piece of life,
Yeah.
wisdom in life. That if we can grab that, it's freeing for that person. It's freeing for you. Man, it's so good. I love
Yeah.
that advice.
That's such a good piece of advice, man. Now help me make it. Help me put some flesh and blood on it. So for the people that are listening, what's an example of that? What's an example of not assuming responsibility that's not yours?
All right. You're leading a great company. You're doing
Yeah.
good things. You've got employees. They're great. You're a high level leader. That's great. But you also are that person that's going to get stuff done, and you want a good name and a good reputation and all that stuff. You work
Yeah.
hard. Good for
Yeah.
you. You've built something great. And one of your employees is just not quite hitting the level.
Yeah.
And they're not like consistently they're not doing it, and partly because you step in and save the day all the time. You're the hero. You're the hero. You got nothing, but you're paying yourself a job you're never going to scale. Like it's not going
Yeah.
to work for you because you're assuming responsibility that's not yours. Let them fail. Also, give them the credit when they succeed. Like, I don't know, something with high level leaders, we
Yeah.
like to step in when you know what? Maybe we shouldn't because
Yeah.
someone in our life let us fail and we learned something really, really good.
Oh, it's so good,
But they didn't
dude.
let us fail to the point of breaking. They
Yeah.
instigated growth in us. They let us
Yeah.
walk through it, in hard ways, so we learned it. And so that's one example. I give you 1,000, but there's my story.
No, that's a huge example, man. Let them fail. I mean, I'm assuming that affects your parenting as well. That's another place where that principle would I think seriously apply, right? With your kids and not letting them fail. You know, while the stakes are low, instead of protecting them and being like a helicopter parent.
Right. Right.
You know.
We had Linda Williams, Dr. Linda Williams from Gunnison gave us early parenting advice, and she's smart. And she would say this, as kids are young, you want to give them, high boundaries and high support. Like,
Yeah.
here it is, like right here. This is what you do. Don't touch the stove.
Yeah.
Like that's your boundaries. And
Yeah.
as they get older, you got to be able to give wider boundaries
Yeah.
and still high support.
Yeah.
And so now they have freedom. They
Yeah.
can make their choices. Even the ones like my kids are now grown and married and have their own kids, that kind of stuff. They're not
Yeah.
parenting the way that I would.
Yeah.
They're not in everything.
Yeah.
But that's fine because they're making their own choices. They're doing their own things. And so you let the boundaries widen. You have to. That's a relationship of a parent, to a child. But
Yeah.
always have that high support for them too. Even
Yeah.
when they're making decisions where you're just like, I don't know that I'd do it that way, but it's your life. Like, here we go.
Yes. Yeah. Because then they start to take ownership.
Yep.
And that's what we want, right? We want kids who can think for themselves. Man, I mean, I've seen what happens when kids are protected to that degree, and then they get out into the world, and they just go crazy, right? Because they never had to think for themselves. They didn't have to embrace their own character and whatever morality. They didn't have to think it through for themselves. It was just inherited by the parent. Then the parent's gone, and then all that framework is all gone, and it's like they got to go learn it from scratch. and that could be a wild ride for a young person. Man, this is some good stuff. So I got my last question for you as we're kind of coming to the end of our time together.
Yes,
What's your big dream?
my big dream. I would say my big dream, honestly, is to instigate growth in people, places, and things
Yeah.
while living life to the fullest. And so my big dream, my family's alive. I'm loving life with my family. My friends, I'm loving life with them. I'm living life to the fullest. In fact, I just had a huge party on Friday in my backyard.
Yeah.
With three of my closest friends, and their wives were over here as well. It was themed out. They had to dress up. The food was all themed out. It's called the Havens Bayou. We played with remote control cars, like living life to the fullest. Like my dream is to live life to the fullest while instigating growth in my organizations, in my personal life, in business, whatever it may be. Like that's my big dream. And if this thing scales and it continues to scale up and to the right, because that's where momentum takes it, then let's go. And if it's not scaling and it's struggling, I still want to be instigating growth and living life to the fullest.
Right.
With the highest level of people that want to do it at the level I want to do it at as well, and we can instigate growth in each other as we share life together.
Man, that just sounds like clarity. You have been blessed with extraordinary clarity, I think, about who you are, how you work, what you're here in this world to do. It's refreshing to see and to spend time with that kind of clarity. And I hope it inspires other people, because I do think, Aaron, that we all can have clarity. I think we all can have more clarity than we have. I think that it's a discipline to refine that. And it's not easy to look at your life and the way that your life has played out, past, present, and future, and to be a student of your own life, and to be curious about your own life and curious about your calling to the degree where it starts to become like laser sharp, but I want to see more and more people get there, because I do think that is how we can make our greatest impact in the world, is if we understand that.
I agree.
Yeah. Amazing. Aaron, thanks for hanging out today.
Oh, this is great. Are you going to do it again tomorrow? Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. And for everybody who stayed with us up until this point, thanks for hanging out. And I'm going to continue to bring you inspiring people to call out the greatness that's in you, man. Like Aaron said, call out the greatness, instigate you towards growth. We want to see you succeed and grow and do all the amazing things that God has for you to do in this world. And I do believe that they're amazing. Maybe not, it might not, it could look a lot of different ways and still be amazing. I'm not trying to tell you it has to look a certain way, but there is greatness inside of you. So we appreciate you joining us, and we will see you next time. Take it easy, everybody.
Thank you.